I am joined by the three finalists for the position of college president: Diana Rodriguez, who's currently Vice President of Student Services at Las Positas College; Christopher Villa, who's Vice President of Student Services at Los Angeles Mission College; and Rebecca Warren Marlott, who's Vice President of Student Services at Craft Hills College. Wasn't a pattern there. After making an opening statement, each candidate will be answering questions that were submitted online and solicited from various college constituencies. So candidates, you're going to have 2 to 3 minutes per question. Celia is our timekeeper, so she'll flash you a T when you have a minute left. As we approach the end of our time, each candidate will be given the opportunity to provide a closing statement. That's a free-for-all, whatever you want to say. So you should have each been provided with a candidate evaluation form. Most of them are green, those in the back are white because I ran out of green paper. All information gathered from these will be shared with the Chancellor before the second level interviews, which are scheduled June 1st. Okay, so the forum will now begin with a 5-minute opening statement for each candidate. In this statement, please tell us about your education and professional experience and how they will contribute to San Bernardino Valley College. And Ms. Rodriguez, we'll start with you.
Again, my name is Diana Rodriguez, and I want to first of all thank you so much for having me out to your campus. I'd like to say it's a great day in San Bernardino, and I appreciate all of you attending the forum. I know that this is a very big decision for you all, so I appreciate you taking the time, and I also appreciate that you being here means that you're taking time away from your desk, and there's no one there to back it up for you, so I appreciate you doing that. To tell you a little bit about my education, I am a very proud community college graduate. I earned my associate's degree for liberal arts and transfer from Palo Verde College in Blythe, California. Does anybody know where that's at? Yes. Right, very good. From there, I transferred on to move to this community, to San Bernardino, Cal State San Bernardino, where I've earned 2 advanced degrees. I have an MBA, so I have a very strong financial and budget and planning background, which I think would be a benefit to the college here. I also have a master's degree in education with a counseling emphasis, which allows me to really work well and taught me how to work well with different populations, which I think is a strength of mine. And given the diversity of the college campus, I think that also helps in working with not only the college community, but the campus community. Professionally, I started my professional career at Cal State San Bernardino, first in the area of development, doing both fundraising and friend-raising, as we say. And from there, I moved over to the student services side because I found that I really had a passion for the community college system and working with community college students. So when I went over to the student services side, I worked, my job, if you will, was everything transfer. So we built our transfer plans, our outreach plans, and working with community colleges, developing partnerships, and so on, to show a mutual interest in helping building the community through education. And it was there, and it was then that I got introduced to Valley College. I was able to make, it seemed like almost weekly visits to the college. And through there, I just enjoyed working here. I enjoyed what was happening, and I wanted to be a part of it. So when an opportunity opened up for a faculty position on the campus, I applied for it and was just thrilled to get the position. So I earned my faculty tenure here at the college. From there, I moved on to administration. I've been a vice president of student services in the California Community College System for 9 to 10 years. It started when I left San Bernardino Valley to administration to Palo Verde College. I got an opportunity to go home, as they say. And I was the VPSS there for 6 years. Had an amazing opportunity to go to the Bay Area in Northern California to be the vice president there at a bit of a larger college. And so I've been there for 4 years, which was a great experience. And now the opportunity has opened up for me to come home again here. And so I'm thrilled to be here. Some of the things that I've done, I'm very experienced in working with large, complex budgets, working and managing and overseeing large construction projects, and also very, very familiar and very much value the shared governance process. I think that's extremely important, that we hear all voices from all constituent groups, including our students. And in a lot of your documentation, I was really thrilled to see that, you know, it may not be a motto of it, but I think you truly do have students first part in your documentation that I looked through. So I was excited to see that. I think I reflect the community, and I think I reflect your students some years ago. I won't tell you how many years ago. I'm first generation college student. Again, a graduate of the community college system. And I've earned my degree here. And in looking around at your college campus, I see myself. In reading about your demographics, I see me. And that's the community I want to make a difference in. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Pleased to be here. Excited to be here. Excited to be a candidate for president at San Bernardino Valley College. This is a great community. This is where I started my career. I started my career in 1980, working in the EOP program. I was hired by two gentlemen, Tom Rivera and Walter Hawkins, who are very well known in this community, are mainstays in this community. And with their example, with the example of many others who have been mainstays here, they set the foundation for me to be an educational leader. So I've been doing this now for over 35 years. I started very young at Cal State San Bernardino, so you're probably trying to figure out how old I am based on what I said. But basically, it's exciting to be here because the year I spent at CSUSB was really the year that determined whether or not I would be propelling my career forward in higher education. You know, the San Bernardino community, or the college at that time, only had about 5,000 students. Everybody who worked at the college, at the university, was like a family. Everybody knew everybody. And I had the opportunity to do outreach in high schools in the community. I got to know communities like Colton, Fontana, Rialto. I came here to SBVC to recruit students. So I built a lot of relationships, and I learned that in higher education, degrees matter, experience matters, but what matters the most, I believe, at this level, is the ability to connect with people. And that's what I've strived to do throughout my career. So I had great examples when we started my career here at Cal State, University of San Bernardino. So let me tell you a little bit more about my educational background and my experience. Now, after leaving Cal State San Bernardino, it was a hard decision to leave. I got recruited. There was a secretary in the office at the time said, "Why don't you apply for this job at Cal Poly Pomona?" I said, "I don't want to leave. I love it here." But unfortunately, I was on a budget. I was in a year-to-year position. So I had to get permission from the EOP director at Cal State San Bernardino to go to Cal Poly Pomona. Unfortunately, the directors knew each other very well. So it worked out. Now, ever since then, though, you can see that I had experience working in the CSU, 17 years of experience altogether. But eventually, I meandered over to the California Community College system, where I've been in the system for about 14 years, 11 years as a vice president of student services. And I've been a vice president at large and relatively small campuses. I was a vice president at Long Beach City College, vice president at Fresno City College, each with enrollments of over 20,000 students, and now at LA Mission College, a college that has a size similar to that of San Bernardino Valley College. So my experiences have varied with regard to leadership at the vice presidential level on different types of campuses since I've been at LA Mission. So in terms of education, when I pursued my career at Cal Poly Pomona, I ended up getting a master's in public administration from USC. And then I pursued a doctorate, and I went out of state to Utah, to the University of Utah, to pursue and complete a degree in educational leadership and policy. I might be the only person who is an SC grad and a Utah grad who goes to events where I'll support Utah over USC. Sorry. Okay, that's how good the experience was in Utah. Okay. Not that I'm not an SC fan. Okay, I am. But that experience was great. And that's what I think about when I think about my career. If you notice, I moved from place to place, and I'm at a point now in my career where I want to end it in a place where I feel I'm a fit, where I hope you think I'm a fit. And I feel like I'm a fit here. I started here. I love this community, and I know I've ventured off to many different campuses and had different experiences. But I've always thought about this community since I left it. I mentioned in my interview, whenever I drive through here, I smile. And it just makes me feel good. Because this is a community, it's a great community. This college is the 90th, it's its 90th year of existence. I came from a college, Fresno City College, that just 5 years ago had its centennial celebration. There are a lot of people here who love this college. And I thrive in that experience at Fresno, where you feel a connection between the community and the people who live here. I believe in that. So I hope that as we move forward, that you consider me more seriously for the presidency here at San Bernardino Valley College. And I'm going to give now to the next candidate. Thank you.
And thank you all very much for being here at this open forum and for the opportunity to talk to you a little bit about my qualifications to become the next president of San Bernardino Valley College. So, Valley College is turning 90. And Valley College has had a ripple effect on so many members of our community and beyond, and I'm no exception. When I came to Valley College as a single-parent reentry student years ago, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And Valley College at that time helped to give me focus, helped to give me direction. So I'm very much a local girl. I grew up in Rialto. I was educated at San Bernardino Valley College. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology and master's degree in psychology at California State University, San Bernardino. And I have a doctorate in leadership for educational justice from the University of Redlands. That sounds like a really short trajectory, but in truth, it was a start, stop thing, kind of across my lifetime. So I'm truly the manifestation of a lifelong learner, and I think that describes a lot of perhaps you in this room, and certainly also describes a lot of our students. And I think it intersects really well with our role as a community college in this community, in that we want to be more than anything a vehicle for lifelong learning, for skills development, for transfer for our students. So some of the skills that I have developed over time have been directly a result of my involvement in higher education. I started at California State University, San Bernardino as the academic support coordinator of disabled student services. I loved it there, absolutely loved it there. Moved to San Bernardino Valley College in 1994 as the coordinator, faculty coordinator of the same department. I've always had a love for disadvantaged populations, and if you know anything about people with disabilities, that is a population very often that is least likely to become employed, least likely to become educated. So that really kind of tickled my equity bone. I served in that capacity for a number of years before the job sort of morphed into a management position. For a few years, I was the director, and then I became the dean in student development, moved to Crafton Hills, where I am now, and have served for the last 7 years as the vice president of student services. So I exercised my administrative chops in a number of ways over the years that I think will be useful to San Bernardino Valley College. I've had broad budgetary oversight of student services budgets, different kinds of funding streams. I've been the accreditation liaison coordinator for the campus, and I led the campus through our recent accreditation sanction through the follow-up. I've been on accreditation committees for a number of years over the years, and I've assisted this institution as well with accreditation issues. I'm also the equity coordinator. I mentioned a little bit earlier, I have a passion for equity. And I think you have to have a passion for equity when we look out at our community and realize that many, many people don't have access to higher education without our intervention. And that we need to make sure that we're permeable to the community and that we meet students' needs in a variety of ways so they can come into our college and we can go out to them at any point in their educational careers. I'm also experienced with enrollment management. I am deeply committed to participative governance and serve as chair and member of just about any community college committee that you ever want to think of. So in short, I have deep management and administrative experience in the community college. I have an educational background that prepares me well to assume the presidency of San Marino Valley College, and also have a passion for community colleges and understand the central role of community college in promoting the economic prosperity of our area. And I think with that, I'll turn it over to Dr. Gilbert.